Hi.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
How are you all adapted and moved?
Yeah, I got here about a month ago now, so feeling a lot better in my job, and yeah, I got all settled into the new place, so I'm really liking it.
Good to hear it.
Awesome.
So, hi Laura.
Hi everyone. Sorry, just super tired today, but good to see you all.
Is everyone
By the way,
here?
Elisa is
Elisa.
incoming
Yes.
in a few minutes.
I'll be taking the minutes of the meeting. If that's okay, I assume that is okay to everyone.
It is.
Shall we begin maybe? Then Elisa will come.
From my behalf, it's okay that we will start. So Nina, do we go your list? What did you what we were planning to go through?
I think we can first adopt the list as our agenda and then see and go through point by point. If anyone else has anything to add on the list, of course. Nothing
Not right now, but as you, sorry, I'm multitasking. As you start your discussion, I may come up with things. So yeah, just go ahead.
So, shall we start on the first thing on the list?
Yes.
I have it here opened.
Yeah, I have. I'm doing the minutes of the meeting as well, so I have the list here as well. The group leadership and the board. Let's make the first point.
Yes. Just to let you know, I'll send you all because this also has to do with the bylaws. We got back our draft meeting minute with some tips and things to change, and I didn't have had the time this week to do it, but I'll do it probably this weekend, and then I can send it all to you all for you to read it and get acquainted with the bylaws. That it's quite important, and for me at least it was very informative to get to really understand how the club and all Rotary clubs work regarding administration and all of these things. So, but mainly what is the most important thing is that the club shall be governed by this, or leader by this board that we still have to elect at least one person for the board actually. And then regarding the, then of course, main things shall be just organized by this board. And then we can have committees. I never know how to say this in English. Anyway, you understand it, I guess. But we can have this committees to lead some activities that we will have. So, for example, we kind of have already. We have a committee for the website building that actually Amy is part of it only almost, but kind of Laura is part of it as well, because Laura is building our main paper about the club. Then we have the charter event committee that Andrew and Laura are in it as well. And so this goes on like this. And technically, always one person of the board has to be in these committees as well, to make this link and to get to the discussions and to the board, and to have all the communication aligned. But that's pretty much it. And I think that's important for us to know, because Linda is not here for me anymore. Is she here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you had anyways, disconnected. Hi, Alyssa. But that's pretty much what I have to say about club leadership regarding the bylaws. And regarding the board, for now, we still have to elect, how do I say this in English? Damn it, just a second. I have the bylaws open here. Treasurer. We don't have a treasurer anymore yet, but our board will always be will always consist of a minimum of 5 directors. That will be the chair-elect, immediate past chair that we won't have at this moment, like this year, but soon we will have it. A secretary that actually we have 2. It's Nina and Elisa, and the treasurer that we have to elect. And also to think if we will maintain the board to be just like we did for the creation of the club. Nina and Linda, do you want to add anything to this regard?
Not much to add. I'm really looking forward to the bylaws as well, and I read the first draft, and I think it's a really good document for everyone to read. About the board, officially I'm not the secretary, because on these papers to our application we were only able to put one name, and that was Elisa's name. So we probably have to make a decision that I'm also part of the board as a second secretary. Yeah. At least that's how I understood it.
I think we can decide it. I think the bylaws are open enough for this interpretation, I think.
Yeah, because we agreed also that we would share the work with Elisa so that she wouldn't have to take everything, so that we are actually able to manage the workload.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, anyone? I don't know how this will work. Shall we do the election already for treasurer? Linda, Nina,
I think we should do it.
Laura wants to.
I have a question. I don't know how it works in Canada or as we are an international club, but I searched for it, how it works for Germany. And then if you have any like elections, you need to do it at least by email for it to be counted. So my question would be, how do we vote?
For next year, wait, what Alice say?
I meant for the treasurer.
Yes, that's a great thing, Ellie. Thank you. I'll definitely add this to our bylaws. She's suggesting for us to include in our bylaws that some positions may be shared. I think even we can try, Ellie, what do you think to write something really broad and say that any position may be shared?
Yeah, you,
Okay,
you can
regarding
do that. Yeah, you can do that. And you can
Yes,
do your
okay,
elections
awesome.
also. You can do your election Zoom. You look at your quorum, how many people of the board you need to have on there. You have everybody here, or no? You have, there's 8 of you, one person missing. You can do your elections on Zoom.
Yeah, I'll read to you how the elections are considered by the bylaws, and that's something that we got from the minutes that the examples that were given to us, that like we didn't make it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So technically, every end of each year, around October, the board has to build a list of nominations. Then 1 month later, we have to open this for everyone and to see if there's anyone else who would like to be elected or go for election. And then by December 31st each year, we have to have a meeting for like an assembly for election, and we can do this online. We can decide if it will be by a poll or if we just like put our hands up and that's it. We can decide this.
Or chat, or in the chat.
Or in the chat. So it's very flexible.
Yeah.
And that's how things should work from now on. But for this board right now, in the beginning, we don't have this timing anymore. So that's why also in the papers that we gave to Rotary International for the creation of the club, we had to put already our chair-elect, for example. And and then, but anyways, once we are already like adapted, we can also do our elections nominations for our next board as well.
Yeah.
But for now, it would be important to have at least our treasurer elected so that we have our board full and complete.
I understand that in your case, my understanding is that in your case, you don't need necessarily an official treasurer on the board because your finances are being done pretty well by the treasurer from RECCO, from your sponsor club. But you could have, let's say, a financing committee who works with that, but it's not a member of the board necessarily. In your case, not for a satellite club.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just an idea, just since it won't have the same obligations and so much workload, maybe we could even try to regularize Nina also here, for example, if you would agree, or Elisa, or like we could do this, and then we all share the load of work, the workload. I don't know, just an idea going.
One thing,
to-
if it would be better to put some name down, I would do that as well. Or even if there are some duties that maybe you don't want to do as well, Nina or Linda, because you already have done so much. I have time now and I could do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Kata.
Sure.
Thanks. That's a nice proposal.
Yeah.
Can we vote for it?
Sure. So Kata would be our treasurer. Yes. I'm good for this.
So unanimous vote.
Yay. All right. That was easy.
Congratulations, Kata.
Thanks.
Yay.
I have a question quickly.
Sure.
Is our board elections by Rotary year, like by I think it's July 1st or June 1st to the following year, or is it, you said like those meetings are at the end of like the calendar year in October? I'm just
Yeah, the election has to happen like 6 months before, so that the next board knows already when, but like the next board will only be the board on July 1st.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The
But
reason,
then, yeah, please, Ellie, go for it.
the reason for that is that you need to submit that in December, is because for district and Rotary International purpose, it's recorded.
Okay.
Because we put it in Club Runner, and Club Runner is connected with the district and with Rotary International database. So they know where to send, let's say, for instance, membership information or anything like that. So that's why you need to have that in place in December. So you can do your voting in November, for instance. No later than the first week of December, I believe.
Sounds good.
Just a question, and I don't know who the answer or who might have the answer. Something that I'm kind of maybe, I don't know if struggling is the right word, but I'm a little confused about is what we have, if there's a place that summarizes what we as our own satellite club are able to define for bylaws versus the requirements of what like Rotary International has, because it sounds like we started off talking about a couple of things that we might have the flexibility to introduce new wording that's broad and that can be used for what we're doing, but then there's some requirements that Rotary International has that we need to be able to align with. Is there a summary somewhere that can help guide us to understand all that stuff?
There's the Constitution and the bylaws, and the Rotary Constitution will always be the same, but your bylaws are a lot more flexible. But you could Google that. You could Google that, and because the last 5-6 years, Rotary clubs have become a lot more, have been given more flexibility, and they can do things different. But the Constitution will always be the same. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yep,
When-
I think so.
When we send the bylaws, and honestly, things get really like much clearer when you read them. We can send the Constitution as well, and I think everything will make sense, honestly.
That'd be helpful. Thank you. And just a question maybe for Ellie about our finances. So will all of our, I guess we won't have our own bank account then, it would be through the Reco Club, is that correct?
Yes.
You do have your bank, yeah. You do have your own bank account, but it is still administered by Jean-Michel Crapin, who is the treasurer. So when I sent you the attendance form, there is a different indication that you can indicate where the money goes, what the money is for. So when you submit your membership dues, those are being paid by RECO. So that goes into the RECO account. But any of your donations or fundraising, you indicate that on your attendance form where you send your PayPal donation. And Jean-Michel is in the process of putting buttons on the PayPal account, so you can indicate what it's for. So if it's donation or for a special project or anything like that, he will know. And then it goes into your account. So only your membership dues go into the RECO account.
And they are due July 1st. And if you want to divide it for two, that you don't want to pay it at once, the whole $250, you can pay it July 1st and January 1st. But if you pay it at once, you pay it July 1st. So we don't have to pay it before that now. Because somebody was asking it, and I was talking with Tammy and Ellie about that. So July 1st, we have to pay total amount once or half of it.
Okay, so we don't have to pay for this past January 1st, or did everyone pay? I'm confused.
No, we have to. First time we have to pay is in July 1st.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Thank you. Sorry, I might have been asking questions that have already been talked about the last few meetings. I'm just trying to catch up.
No, that's
Actually,
okay.
Amy, I think it's pretty new for everyone, so your questions are very welcome.
And there also, we were talking with Tammy and Ellie about our name because it's quite long. So
It's hard to fit on the website.
sorry?
It's hard to fit on the website.
Yeah. So what do you guys think if we shorten it in SECCO? Satellite E-Club of Canada 1. What do you guys think?
Makes me think of Prosecco, which is,
Yes.
Maybe the professionals, pro.
Yeah, pro.
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
But do you think we can fit the G and P somehow? Because I think global professionals is what really is important about us, isn't it?
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah. But we have to get it shortened because well, I think it makes life easier.
I think that could be something that we like just use internally to call ourselves SECCO, like, because that's easier than saying out the whole name.
Yeah.
But we could, yeah, I don't know, it could work.
Maybe we could do one of these polls again, and if anybody thinks of like a nice short abbreviation, we could send it in to you, Linda, and maybe that would work. Or maybe if nobody thinks of something, we can still go with SECCO, of course.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. What about Rotary E-Club of Global Professionals, just like to shorten it, but then we can put in our long name, like the full thing, so they can search us on the Rotary website and stuff. Because we want to, like, I think, share that we're an E-Club and we're global professionals and we're part of Rotary. Those are kind of the three key things I would think that we'd want to portray to new people.
Maybe it's important for RECO as well to highlight that we are part of RECO as well.
Yeah, we can have that as like the second tagline or something. You know, have the full name and then like the short name kind of as our main one. Definitely including it, just not as like the kind of a long one. But I agree, we can do some kind of poll and send it around to make sure everyone gets their input.
Yes. If you have ideas at this moment, I think we can share this on the chat or on WhatsApp, and then we can put it all together in a poll.
Yes, and just ask, would it be okay if I share a link to the poll by WhatsApp group?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone okay with that? It's a bit faster then.
Actually, that's something that I would like to, because it's not on our list, and I think that's a good thing for us to discuss. Our WhatsApp group has tons of people, not tons, but like there are lots of people that were interested maybe in the club, but weren't involved anymore. And we are starting to discuss things there that are now really from our club, now created and chartered, etc. So maybe we should create a new group just with us and Reko and Ellie and Tammy.
Should we follow up with those people to see if they still want to be involved in the club first? We can message them individually.
Yes,
we can do.
Yeah. That'll be a good
Yeah,
idea.
we can do that as well. I think there are 2. I'm checking the list of members. I think there are 3 that I don't know. 4. Yeah, I think we can check with them. I can do that if there is no other volunteers to contact them.
I can help if you want. Because there are some people that I think I talked to at the very beginning.
Okay.
That I can connect with.
Sure, we can do that to check.
I could talk to Margarita as well. That was a friend of mine from the exchange program.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Okay. I think we can move on now, I think. Okay, I'll say it. Okay, next thing is upcoming meetings. Nina, what did you exactly mean with upcoming meetings for the calendar?
For the calendar, we had the poll and we agreed that we would have a meetings every first and third Saturday of the month. But I thought we could maybe just confirm this and also talk about the structure of the meetings. Because at the board, we also discussed that maybe every second meeting, we should have a bit more formal meeting with guest speakers. And then every second meeting would be a bit more relaxed, getting to know each other, have a coffee, not so structured agenda to follow. So I'd like to hear, and I'm speaking now in the voice of the board, about your opinions as well. How do you feel about this? Or any comments, any ideas?
I'll put my 2 cents in on this one. I definitely like the idea of doing one more formal one and one more casual. Even if at the beginning we can't find guest speakers, we can each maybe do a presentation on, the work that we're involved in or one of our own little passion projects. I'm sure there's so much we can learn from each other on our own things we're going with. So I think that would be a cool idea at the beginning for kind of like a professional development / get to know each other type thing. And in terms of structures of meetings, I have a few templates of agendas that I've used in the past to go through meetings for the formal ones. And yeah, starting with taking attendance and and sending out the agenda ahead of time so everyone knows. And I think a lot of Rotary clubs use quite a similar type agenda, going through maybe, I don't know how we'd want to organize it, but a lot of Rotary clubs do the 4-way test, and they'll start with either the national anthem, which we can't really do in our case, or some kind of acknowledgement. But I want to put forward an idea to maybe start with like a land acknowledgement of some sort, because I know a lot of us are on Indigenous lands in different parts of the world, and that's a big thing that is, especially in settler countries like Canada and Australia, where there was a lot of displaced Indigenous peoples, to just acknowledge, like, you know, Edmonton is on Treaty 6 territory. Like right now I'm on Ngunnawal and Ngambri country here in Australia, just like a little acknowledgement to recognize that we're able to come from different places and share the lands with the Indigenous peoples, and we're, yeah. But I could, yeah, send something about that in an email to explain it a little bit better, to get some feedback on. But yeah, I like the idea of doing the bi-weekly meetings. I think that'll be really easy to, yeah, schedule in and connect with you guys that way.
I think it's an awesome idea. And I was actually also thinking about this, and about like at least our first meetings could be done and have presentations by ourselves regarding our jobs and or interesting things. I was also thinking about this, and that's a form of getting to know each other better as well, right? Let me just make one clarification. Usually, as we may know, Rotary clubs do weekly meetings, but we are young professionals. We have very hard agendas. We have this. This is actually something that we can discuss even more later about the things that we think that may be a challenge for us. But we also have, like, for at least for the pandemic, Saturday nights or Sunday mornings for us could be a good option, but at some point it may not be like the best option anymore. And also, anyways, like we have things to do, right? But we found that in the constitution of Rotary, there is this option that we can make, usually Rotary clubs should have weekly meetings, but we can do legally only 2 meetings per month. So that's how, like, that's why we thought of doing 1 week yes, 1 week no, like every first and third week, or second and fourth week. So we could have at least 1 weekend that is free for us to do anything else, and then we can check our availability after the pandemic and after things will get normal again, and see if this still works. But yeah, so 2 weeks per month are the minimum that we can do, and that's how we try to adjust our club as well. So that's the only clarification I wanted to make. Okay, so regarding upcoming meetings, are we done? Anything else you would like to add?
I have one more question. I had a look at the attendance document, and I wanted to ask, like, for the qualifying activities, for example, if I'm involved with Rotex, which I'm quite a lot, does that count as any kind of involvement, or is that different from that because it's another district, it's another country? And I mean, it is for the Rotary Youth Exchange, but still it has nothing to do with a precise Rotary club. So I just wanted to clarify that. I know it's very specific, I'm sorry.
Ellie, do you, yes.
Would you like me to answer that question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Any Rotary related activity qualifies as a makeup. When you attend a district conference, for instance, that attends as a makeup, or any kind of Rotary training, if it's Rotary related, or something that you do in your community that doesn't necessarily have to be Rotary related, just like we do now a little bit of service, that all qualifies.
Okay, thanks.
Volunteer work and Rotary-related meetings. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
So that's good for you, Laura. All right, can we move on? Yes? Okay, so next thing is update on charter event. Andrew and Laura, the floor is yours.
Andrew, do you want to start or?
Yeah. So basically a couple of weeks ago, we kind of, was it a couple of weeks? Anyway, the last time we met, we talked a little bit about what we were hoping to do. And so the kind of like a draft agenda went out. There's a couple of items that I think we're waiting to finalize, and Laura was leading a lot of the consolidation of that information. But yeah, basically, I think the big item that we are hoping to likely finalize is later in this agenda, the item for our mission, I think. But the ask, and I don't know where things are at. Sorry, Laura, I'm kind of diving into your area, but having the information about like the questions that we can have as I'm drawing a blank on the word, the program, not Menti, the other one. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. I think we have some stuff for Kahoot. We have some ideas, but we can still talk about that this meeting about what we could include for our Menti poll. And then essentially finalizing a mission statement. And then that would help us to be able to tie all this in together. And then once we have this in place, then we can, I feel like we would be more so prepared to have the event. And then we could talk about having, like scheduling the guest speaker and when we would have this line up. But I think that's a high level summary. Toss the mic to Laura.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I think that's really sums it up very well. I just, if I may briefly share my screen with you, can I do that? No, it doesn't seem like I can do that. Oh, that's that.
Linda has to allow you.
Oh.
No, I think it works now. I just wanted to show you how far I am with a Kahoot. So thank you all so much for your contributions. I think we got some really nice questions. So we have Canada, Finland, Germany, and Brazil. Amy, I don't know if you would like to have another one for Australia, if you feel comfortable. If not, that's fine as well. I think 8 questions are a good number of questions to have like a little ice-breaking event. And for the Mentimeter, I just made 2 examples here to show you how it could look like. So I just drew up on the ideas that we discussed in the earlier meeting. What are the most important challenges Rotary needs to address in the near future, or as we would ask our guests to say, what do they expect from young Rotarians as us at our club? Like what do they expect from that? But these are only like just 2 examples, and we can of course discuss that, and happy to hear your ideas. But just wanted to show you where things are at the moment. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add to what Andrew explained. Thanks.
I have 2 things for charter event. We should give Ellie 2 dates, 2 possible dates for charter event, because then she could ask from Jennifer Jones when she would be able to come. So what do you think? Should we take them from April to give 2 dates, or 1 from April, 1 from May, or what do you think? Because
my
we
2
should...
cents on it. Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
I was going to say my 2 cents is I think once we land on the mission statement and goal, which I think we're talking about later today, I think then we could talk about what dates could work. Because if it takes more than this meeting to land on our mission statement and goal, then we might want to push back the event. So
shall we move on to mission statement, then we go back to charter event? Yeah. Awesome. So Laura, sorry?
Sorry, just before, I think Linda had two things.
Yeah, two, because we there probably comes those who are giving speeches. There would be Jennifer Jones, probably Tammy, and then district governor is probably coming, or we are inviting him or her. I don't know which one is it, but there will be guest speakers. So and so we need to, yeah, thought about those dates that we get these all people to come and give a long notice for them.
Just something Ellie just said, that we do not necessarily need to have our mission statement completed before our charter. Just something.
Yeah, and maybe we don't have to have the mission statements ironed out as something that we would publish, but I think the most common question that will come up is, what are you hoping to do? And I don't think we have a succinct answer amongst the 9 of us or 8 of us. So I think that's why we need to get that figured out before we have the chartering event. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of ums and, you know, making it up on the spot.
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
Okay, so maybe Laura, do you have the folder easy to share?
You mean the introduction letter?
Yes, please.
I do have that one here. Can you see it?
Yes.
I mean, we know the name of our club.
This beautiful work was made by Laura. Thank you, Laura.
Very welcome.
One thing I noticed on this is that the website goes to it's in German, the Rotary German website. So I
don't know how I can change that. I know I need to change it. For some reason, I could not access the English speaking Rotary website. I thought that maybe, yeah.
I think it's fine, honestly, because then people can just go and change it into their language of choice. We are a global club anyway, so it's not like English needs to be the default. I'm just.
Can you maybe send me the link for the English one? Because then maybe I can just copy paste it. For some reason, I could not open the web page in my Firefox whatsoever.
Yeah, I can if you want.
That would be great.
Okay, so Laura put this together. Some of us, we talked through it. We thought it was good, but we would really like to discuss this with you guys and see what you think, and see if you if this needs any changes or additions, and see if you agree that what we are working on, if this is something that is shared by all of us. So maybe do you want to read this, or do you want me to read this? I'm not seeing you anymore, so I have to have voice messages.
Just spitballing for this, and I think this was another item that we had talked about for file sharing. Do you think this is an exercise that we could do and add our comments in if we can't talk about it here?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If we can send it around, like, are we using Google Docs to then add comments and things?
I
don't know if we decided.
That's something else that we have to decide. We have to deal with document sharing things.
Maybe let's talk about. Sorry, we're going everywhere, but I think even this, it would be good to tie in again if we have because we have goals here as well, which is kind of neat. So this would probably be a great segue to talk about the mission statement and goals piece too. So I think we're kind of circling 3 items that are all very connected. Maybe let's decide the document sharing tool, and then pivot to mission statement and goals, which I think will then roll into this this document itself as the final piece. Does that make sense as a flow? And as a side note, Laura, this looks awesome, by the way.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
really
looks
like it.
really good.
Thanks a
How
lot.
much time did you spend on this? It looks so great.
I got some inspiration from Canva, and then I used the Rotary colors. So no, but please, I'm really looking forward to your feedback, and if there's anything you would like to be changed, the pictures, the text, please let me know. And also, Andrew, with regards to the goals, I think the board had looked at it, and we tried to keep it as general as possible. So this is really like only something that we could share with prospect members in case it does take some more time to define our precise goals. But I completely agree with you. I think this is like drawing circles and should.
And the idea is just to have something like a base for us to work on, you know, and then develop our projects on top of it, and even find more goals and missions and things like this. So this is something just for us to grow up from, you know.
Yeah.
Laura, once you have it finalized, if you could share it with me, and then I'll put a link to it. I put it in documents in your area in Club Runner, and I include a link to it in your Satellite Club Dropbox menu on the website, where there are some permanent documents there as well, because that's where people are going that are looking for your club as well.
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay. And from a retired graphic designer, it looks very professional.
Thank you, Ellie.
So are we going to be using the Dropbox folder that Ellie just mentioned there in the chat to be sharing all of our documents, or have you guys been using that? Are we going to create a different one?
Do you know if the drop?
You also have the Club Runner where you can get documents, right? But with Dropbox, of course, when you make changes, everybody has to change. Once you got permanent documents, they can go into Club Runner.
Yes, and I think we definitely have to use some kind of system of document sharing, but I was wondering if we have to create or would need to create our own Dropbox folder or something else. And I think we also have to think about what documents are there, because right now I think in our Dropbox we have, for example, all the application forms with our personal information, and I'm not sure if it's really correct to share that link with all members of the club. Or is it only for the board?
That's true. I think only the board should have that access to that Dropbox.
But you can share one of the folders with others. Yeah.
And do we have rights to edit the?
Yes,
edit the rights. Okay.
Yeah.
So do we know if the Dropbox, if we can collaborate on files that are stored on the shared on the Dropbox?
Yes, you can.
We should, yeah, we should be able to.
Okay.
You send that out to us, Nina, like with the meeting minutes?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
helpful. Thank you. And another.
I have to probably add people and play around with it a bit to check that all the rights are correct.
In terms of the document that was just shared on screen, I think it looks really good as is. I had a read of it when you sent it before, Laura, and yeah, I think that works for me. So I'm okay with it being finalized as is, unless anyone else wants to throw in comments on it.
Okay.
If I may just take a minute, this is definitely not a topic that we have to discuss in this meeting, but I would like to discuss it in maybe one of the next meetings when we don't have to have such a load of things. Because when I was at the SECCO meeting, I got in touch with one who joined the SECCO meeting who's actually from a Rotary Club in South Africa. And he said maybe some of the Rotaractors in his district would also be interested. So I have his email. And I would really like to contact him to get maybe more members. And I also have the contact of a Rotary Club in Nairobi. And I think that would also be such a nice addition if we could maybe also get some people who are interested. And I also have some ideas written down for projects, just spitballing, but maybe those could be like the first steps to having some sort of ideas. Yeah.
Well, addition to that, I got a email from Rotex Club from, I don't know, maybe I think they are from Calgary or something, that I were supposed to meet them before this meeting today, but the schedule went a little bit mixed up. But yeah, they were really interested about our club, so maybe there are coming more Canadians with us, so I'm looking forward that too. And they, when we get this started, we can, you know, ask those coming to guest our meeting so they get a little bit more information what we are all about. So then just feel free to bring guests. It's really how you would say it, we encourage you to bring guests because we want to spread the word of the Rotary. So
Why don't we add on our next meeting agenda, like recruitment and like project ideas or something, so then we can have a good space to talk about each of those things, because I think there's lots we could all put into both of those topics. So I think, thank you for bringing those up. Just a quick note on the Canadian youth, like Rotaractors and stuff. I know when this club was first getting started, I had quite a few conversations with Rotaract clubs in Edmonton that were a little hesitant about our club advertising and trying to steal all their people for the Edmonton region, at least, because they were already struggling to keep members. And so I think we just mindful that RECCO and that is based roughly in that area. We should try to still maybe reach out to other areas for now, and then there later. I just feel they were getting kind of angry that we were going to be stealing people from them. I was like, I don't think that's happening, but just so people know.
That's something good to have in mind. Political stuff. I was just wondering, since now we do know that we have something like basic to work on, to think about, and to discuss on next meeting about like mission statement, goals and projects and things like this. Shall we, do you feel comfortable to that maybe we can think of some dates for Ellie to invite Jennifer or anyone else for a charter event, maybe by the end of April, and then we will definitely have time to work on all of that and prepare the meeting and the event.
Yeah, I say like end of April to May for like a charter date, because that gives us time to like, get a website set up, get all of our materials in order, so that way I think after a charter event, then a lot of people all of a sudden know about our club and they'll want to find information about us, and we need to have that organized ahead of time.
So maybe our meetings, or last meeting on April will be on April 17, and on May it will be May 1st, our first meeting. So maybe, what do you think of these dates? Do you think we will have things organized by then?
For me, the weekend of April 17th, 18th is very difficult. I don't know if that could maybe be postponed by a week, or is that not something too good?
Well, it could
Okay.
work. Yeah, I was just following the, technically our date meetings are already scheduled. But like, since it's an event, we can definitely do it in another weekend as well. So for me, it's fine.
What about that first weekend in May? That sounds pretty good. The first, second.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I mean, an alternative maybe could be then April 24, because I also think that April 17th is quite soon.
Okay,
So April 24th and May 1st.
Yeah.
or even May 1st or May 15th as well. Like, if it doesn't matter to me, I'm just bringing date and ideas.
For me, it's okay if we stick with 24th and May 1st, but
I'm good with either.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
so there came suggestion that maybe in our charter event, we want to maybe start with O Canada, because kind of our roots are there. What do you guys think? I was crying last week. I opened my exchange year photos after 14 years, first time probably, and I took this video from the Flames game, and I watched it 5 times in a row.
Wow.
So I would
Are
love
we
that,
able
but
to
it's
do-
our decision to.
Yeah, I've been looking to my pictures too from my exchange. It's been like 15 years ago, and I was like you. I keep looking the pictures, and I agree with the Canadian anthem. Very nice.
Okay, just one thing before that. Ellie's asking about the time. So shall we stick with 2 p.m. Mountain Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ellie, does this work?
Yes, yes. I will give her those 2 dates and see if she's available. And if she's not available, we also have Holger Knack, who is the RI president, current president. And he's very big on the younger generation and youth exchange. He's very big on that. So he may be our second choice. So I will send her an email today.
Thank you, Ellie.
Okay.
Ellie, just formalities. So regarding other invitations, so like, shall we do a formal invitation and then send it to Reco and some like other people, or Reco will do this? How does this work for us?
I'm just wondering, I think we can do this together. Laura's done such a beautiful job on this poster. Maybe she likes to do something similar for an invitation. And then we will distribute that to all our contacts in our district and in other districts as well. And then each of you send that to your former host and sponsor club.
Okay, sounds
and,
good.
You know, parents, family, grandparents, anybody that, you know, it's a big thing. So you want to have as many people as possible online. And then we'll send it to various district governors throughout the district and into various newsletters. And then you send it from your end.
Perfect, thank you. So we'll put that in our agenda as well. Okay, so I have one suggestion. It's already 1 hour 05 past since the beginning, and maybe I would suggest for us to get one meeting only for discussing the charter event, perhaps. Otherwise, maybe it will take too long. And then we can try to just finish the last things we have on our list. And I think things are going like it's almost all done. And then what do you think? I don't know. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, if we get the logistics stuff sorted out next meeting, yeah, like and talk about the charter event, and then we can go into like talking about projects and recruitment. And I actually also want to talk about website design at next meeting. So if you can add that on the agenda, that'd be appreciated. And really quick question: does anyone have any Rotary logos like digitally that they could send to me? Because I know, yeah, Laura, you got some awesome.
There's like a PDF file, and you like from there you can cut it, but it works really well.
Oh, perfect.
Send it to
Okay.
you.
So I don't know how this goes, but if we are talking about the Rotary things in social media, do we have rights to use the logos and that kind of stuff, Ellie?
Yeah, you want to go, you want to log into My Rotary. You are now in Club Runner, and I will check with Tammy if you now showing as active, and you should log into My Rotary. And on the RECO website, on the left bar, there's a whole bunch of information that you can find, and it says also how to sign into My Rotary. But once you signed it into My Rotary, you can download all kinds of images. And there are some stipulations of how you can use the Rotary logo. Like the colors need to be exact, and you cannot use it, you cannot make any changes to the format or put text over it or use it to substitute for a letter. So let's say you want to use the word Rotary and you use the letter O as the Rotary logo as the letter O. Those kind of things you can do, but you can find all of that there once you go into Rotary, in My Rotary, and look for media or something like that, publications, media. There's lots of stuff that you have access to once you have set up your My Rotary with your password.
How are we going to get, sorry.
No, go ahead.
How are we getting the password? Like, I was wondering how this process works.
You register first. You sign up. So you sign up onto My Rotary. And that's
did you all, sorry, Ellie, did you all receive the email from Rotary? Because there was a really clear instructions. No, you didn't? Okay, I'll check mine because I received this week an email, official email.
I did too.
Amy did, yeah. But you didn't, Laura.
You're set up then. Tammy does have you set up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. I don't know if you talked about it, but I didn't understand. This link we are supposed to fill in after the meeting, the qualifying activity, we are supposed to fill in satellite web meeting, right? Is that correct? Because there's satellite club meeting. I don't know if you can.
No, we can't see it.
It's web meeting, right? Instead of club meeting.
No, it's a club meeting. You talked about setting up a weekly meeting somewhere, a written meeting, like we have our weekly meetings, which you can basically follow any time of the day, any time of the week. That's a web meeting. I like you all to make suggestions to changes. Like if you're confused with this, we can change it so it's clear for everybody. This is a club meeting.
This is the club meeting. Okay. Okay. And we are active member or RECO member?
You are an active satellite member. Satellite member, yeah. Active satellite member. I can change that too.
Okay.
Yeah, just each of you send me your recommendations that you want to see changes or something is not clear.
Okay. Other thing, Amy, am I supposed to send you a picture now or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if people can send me a photo of themselves for the website, that would be very helpful. I may also need some help with the website at some point because I spent a few hours on it the other day and didn't get very far, so I'm not very tech savvy. I'm gonna, I think, use a WordPress account, and those ones are free, but you can also choose at some point to pay for them. So we can decide what we want to do in that. But I'll give an update next meeting, because then I'll have more time to play around with it and we can talk about it then.
So you see this site on your screen?
Yeah.
Just Google My Rotary. And here I would sign in because I already joined. So here you join, and then you just sign up with your Rotary number or whatever. Okay, like here you click in join, and your Rotary meeting, your number, you should have your number already. You should have a number already. It's already assigned to you, I believe. Okay, if not, it may not even ask you for that. I'm not sure here. I'm interested in, okay, this is not what you want. No, this is not what you want. You need to sign on. I know you'll figure it out.
Just one question. Did anybody else already sign up?
I did.
Yeah. And you weren't asked for a number?
No, I
Okay.
can't remember anymore, but it was really smooth. Just followed the instructions in the email.
Yeah.
And it was all set. By the way, Ellie, I wanted to ask quickly also about My Rotary and Club Runner. We asked to write our bios there. And do you have any instructions on what, how long, any examples, who is able to see and read those?
Yeah, you can just talk a little bit about that you're former youth exchange students and things like that. Doesn't have to be, many people haven't done it in our club, but it helps to know a little bit about yourself, what you've done. In Club Runner, you can do a lot of different things that you can set up in there.
I can maybe volunteer if everyone writes up their bio and sends it to me, because I can use that on the website, and then I can just go update Club Runner.
That would be great.
Can I update other people's if I'm given certain access, Ellie? Yeah, because then that way it's just all done at once, and then we can use the same bios for you for multiple different things if we need to use it for agendas.
Actually, you don't have that level, access level. Nina, Fabiana, Linda, and Elisa have that access level 5 because they are member of the leadership team. But if you're thinking of putting it in on each of the profiles?
Well, I was going to put it on the website once I create that, so then it'd just be easy to also add it onto people's profiles.
So then you don't have access to that. Yeah, sure. They can send it to you, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll email you, Ellie. So people can give me a picture and a bio.
Okay. Just another question about attendance. We have this link here for these meetings, but the meetings we attend in other clubs, where is this list or this form? Sorry if you talked about that, but I missed it.
It should be on there as well. Other clubs, Terra clubs. I think they're referred to as Terra clubs. Let me see.
Club Runner or in our at RECO's website.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Amy, are you okay about talking about the website and club email address in our next meeting, or do you want to talk about this now?
No, let's do it next meeting. I don't have much to update right now.
Okay, All right. I think that we agreed that invitation of new members will be talked through in our next meeting as well. And I believe the document and project management apparently has been solved, since probably we will use Dropbox, and then Dropbox will use Google Docs, right? Laura, go on, go for it.
Where can I upload the document so that everyone really can have a look at it before I share it with Ali? Can I send it to someone of you to upload it to Dropbox?
I
You
think
mean our-
we could set up the rights so that you could upload it as well. I think that would be the most practical solution.
Whatever easiest for you.
I think Amy and Nina and Linda already have access to the Dropbox folder. And then if you don't want to share everything, you just share one of the folders that is just for the club in general. You could set up a separate folder in there, but it would be good to have one Dropbox where certain RECCO board members have access to as well, like Tammy, Sharon, and myself have access to that. And then your team. So one of the folders, you can make that available for all your members.
Yeah, I need to play around a bit with it. And then we can all share documents there.
And I believe
that's also maybe also handy if we just save our minutes of the meetings there so that we don't have to send them around. Would that be okay to everyone?
That's what I have done also, yeah. And the recording, there's a sheet with all the recordings from all the meetings, a link to the recording. So you will have access to that as well. So you decide who you want to share that with.
I don't know if this is another agenda item or something. Oh, phone's making noises. But I don't know if this already exists, and if it does, maybe somebody could direct me to it. But I think what might be helpful is to have some kind of like FAQ setup, some kind of summary of all the things and where the resources, and maybe a description, because I find there's so many things that we talk about. We're blasting around like Dropbox, there's Club Runner, there's my Rotary. It might be helpful because this is something that I've struggled with, is keeping track of where things are and what we should be looking to. And when we get the website set up, it could be there with like hyperlinks that would just direct people to what it is with the description. But if there's new people that come in, this is an experience that I don't want anybody to have to go through, where they're like, where is everything? Because there's everything. We have so many pieces of resources, which is great, but I'm struggling with knowing where to go.
Great idea.
Excellent.
I think that's a really good idea to get everything in one place.
Yeah, that's something I can put as like a side project when doing the website too, because I really pretty strict about my own file management stuff. So yeah, this stuff drives me insane, not knowing where everything else. So I could start to compile that and work with the other board members to get all that information.
Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think regarding our agenda, we are done, or we have agreed on postpone the subjects for our next meeting. So my role is done. Linda, do you want to add something?
No, I'm pretty okay. Okay, so next time we are talking about the charter event more, to get it all, like we have a clear picture after that meeting that what will be included, and then we are maybe also thinking about the charter invitation, because after that we can be handing that out to everyone. So that's probably next meeting's agenda. And if we have time after that, we can think about other things. Does it sound good?
Can I suggest that the another item to put on the top is that we can discuss like what we would succinctly say is what we're going to do or what we hope to achieve? Because I know, again, like maybe not literally writing a mission statement, but at least getting some kind of alignment across all of us so that we could easily give the elevator pitch of who we are.
Yeah. Okay, so from today until our next meeting, we have to send to everyone the Laura's document, the folder, and also bylaws and constitution. Is that right? So Nina, maybe send you have the power to send everyone's emails, right? Okay, so maybe we could send the folder to everyone. Laura, could you please share with us a document that can be edited and not a PDF?
I can do so. Just to warn you, it's a PowerPoint because it's so much
Okay.
to do stuff.
Okay,
there,
that's
but
perfect.
you can
Yep.
still do comments there. It should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can share this, that it's ready to go, and then I'll work on the bylaws in the next days, and then I can send it to you all as well, or Nina or anyone. And then we can have more things to talk about in our next meeting as well. Is that it? Is there anything else that was missing?
Also about the meeting structure of each meeting. I mean, how do we do our meetings? Will we start with Canada and then have a guest speaker and other common elements of each meeting? So maybe that's something that we could each think about a bit and then compile the ideas at the next meeting, and then slowly get a nice structure to our meetings.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to put that on the agenda for next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay.
Do we want to
Perfect.
decide? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do we want to decide a facilitator up front of the next meeting? Because I know Fabi just did it now, but I don't know if that was what you were intending or expecting to do when we started our meeting today. Do we want to try to either have this as a rotating task, or how do we want to do that so that we don't have 5 minutes of awkward silence at the beginning?
Is it usually the chair's role to do that in the meetings? Or I'm not sure if you guys have already talked about this.
No, we haven't talked about it.
I do like the idea of
Yeah.
rotating it around, because then that kind of gives everyone an opportunity and doesn't put all the pressure on one person. As long as the agenda is all ready, and then yeah, that person can go through each of the main items. We all have a discussion. And one thing also for meeting structure, which I think would be really helpful, instead of us all trying to jump in after each meeting item, doing a round table so everyone can go around and share their input, because it's really awkward in Zoom trying to know when to like talk and not talk and mute and unmute. So just some kind of round table protocol would be helpful.
I think, Amy, you mentioned that you had seen or had some templates of like Rotary agendas and minutes. Does Nina have that? Because that might help too.
No, I can share those. I can email those to you, Nina.
Oh, would
I
you
can even
maybe
pull them up
add
next
this into
meeting
all
and
of
we
us?
can discuss them.
Sorry.
I can do a share screen next meeting and we can go through and discuss how we want to format it. Yeah, let's do that actually. So that on the meeting structure agenda item, I will, yeah, I'll have something to share for that. All right. Should we do some kind of roundtable to say what we're all excited for this weekend before we all say bye, or how to something to leave on a lighter note of all our logistic planning? Yeah. Okay. Any other items, I guess, before we want to sign off, or?
I had one more question about our meetings being recorded. Like, are they still published on YouTube, or is this just for us to keep record of our sessions?
They are on YouTube, but they're not public. So you will need the link, and the link is posted also in Dropbox. There's a sheet that says meeting recordings. So only you will all have, only those who have access to the Dropbox folder will have access to that meeting. It's not public. It's called, it's like not listed or something. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not shared. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off here because it's morning time and I want to go eat breakfast. So one thing that I'm looking forward to this weekend, it is a Canberra Day tomorrow, which is a public holiday celebrating, I guess, the city. And then I'm going to like a hot air balloon festival in the morning. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to pass it off to Andrew.
I have no idea
Thanks,
what I'm
Amy.
looking forward to, but that's exciting. That sounds super cool. Our weather is now above 0, so I guess I'm looking forward to not freezing.
That's exciting. And you have to pick the next person.
Oh, buddy. Elisa.
What am I supposed to say? Sorry, I was just listening. What I
Something-
expect you?
Something that you're excited to do for the weekend.
This weekend, to see my nephew. I will see him tomorrow. He just turned 6 months and he's very cute, so I think that's it. So I pick Linda.
What I'm excited about, I'm going to go to sleep in a few minutes. And for tomorrow, I don't know, I have nothing planned, and it's quite nice because my work days are so busy, so maybe just enjoying doing nothing. And then I pick Fabi.
I'll have dinner with a couple of friends soon, so that's something good to look forward to, especially in these days. So I pick Laura.
I'm excited to go to a small birthday gathering tomorrow morning and have shakshuka for breakfast. It's going to be amazing. I pick Nina.
I'm gonna go to bed soon, but for tomorrow, I'm excited that the weather looks perfect for snowmans. My daughter has been talking about making snowmans for the entire week, so finally tomorrow seems to be the day to make her happy. And Ellie.
Oh, me too. I'm looking forward actually to be able to use the pool again tomorrow, because there's probably a dozen kids in there and they're very noisy and we're starting to get a little old for all the noise. And on Sunday, most people leave again and then we have the whole pool for ourselves again. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Katarina?
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the weather is supposed to be amazing tomorrow, so I'm gonna go for a run.
Nice. Well done. Good night, everyone, and good morning to Amy.
Have a nice Sunday and good night and nice evening for the rest of us.
Yes.
Night and happy Sunday.